Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian Fishing Podcast, episode 99. Diz, are you nervous?
Wow, I'm nervous. I've been nervous for the last 9. I think we're going to hobble our way over to 100 here.
Well, we're inside, Diz, and we've got more to talk about the 100th in a little bit, but we've also got two great guests, Diz.
We do. We've got Steve and Ash, who are the brains behind the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp. We cannot wait to be a part of that.
Are they different people, like Steve and Ash? Because you just said Steve and Ash.
Steve and Ash.
Ash and Steve, we might go with from now on.
Ash and Steve, that's right.
Anyone that was listening, you spoke so fast then it was Steve and Ash.
Yeah, no, well, thank you for clarifying that. But two different people, Steve and Ash.
Well done.
Will be, yes, like I say, the brains behind the Port Lincoln Comp, and we can't wait to be a part of it. So it'd be great to have them on the show, Rhodey.
All right, and let's not start picking up on every little word error we make because we'll be here all night.
Oh, yeah, you can talk. You're the worst for it. Let's get into oranges and lemons, Rhodey. What's your orange been for the last fortnight?
All right, Diz, I'm going to crack my frothy before we get any further.
Good call.
Diz, my orange is the Kingfish last weekend, Diz.
Oh, yes. Well done.
80 centimetres. It was a beautiful fish. We caught a couple of smaller ones. We caught some snapper. We'll get into that, but it was good to see the Kingfish rock up off the Fluorio again like last year.
Yeah, it was, Rhodey. We had a little bit of a sort of small window for us to be able to get out. We didn't have the whole day, but we got out there, fished early, couple of hours, had a bit of a look around for the tuna. No joy there. Sort of made our way to one of our little spots where we drop a few jigs over for some kings and had some success.
And yes, we did, Diz, and beautiful sashimi we ate too.
Yes, yeah, we did. So we got a few back in the water, safely released, which we'd love to do. We want to make sure that our fishery is sustainable. There was one that was a lovely size, like you say, just a tick over 80, I think it might have been. Really great table fish. Took care of it. Went through the process of chilling it down as fast as we could, and then made sure we used every bit of that lovely fish.
We certainly did, Diz. Now, what's your orange, mate?
Well, look, my orange is going to be something that we haven't been as successful ourselves at just yet, but geez, it's been good to see Tice get onto some tuna.
Yeah, there has been some photos popping up. Want to fish, a few rec fishos out there putting their photos up. So good to see the tuna are here.
Yeah.
We will talk about this in the fishing report, not here in great numbers just yet, but they're getting going.
Yes, that is.
And we've been talking about that for about 8 episodes, I reckon.
Yeah, we have. We've been just waiting with bated breath, haven't we?
We have. Diz, what's your lemon?
Well, look, my lemon is going to be a bit of a, shall I call it a lure debacle or what shall I call it?
Oh, mate, you can call it whatever you like.
Shall I call it you just not caring a single bit about me or?
Yeah, you could go with that.
Yeah, all right. Well, whatever we're going to call it, basically we were fishing our mark. We were using some big 250-gram knife jigs.
Yep, probably a bit oversized.
We were a bit oversized, so we thought we'd change it up. I was doing the driving. You said I'll change over the lures before our next drop. Got back to the top of the mark. You're straight down. Before you even got to the bottom, bang, you'd hooked up. And as I was grabbing my rod to drop it over, I noticed you stupidly or potentially intentionally put my lure on the wrong way.
These are all allegations.
Horrible bloke.
I would like to say, Dizzy, who changed your lures all day?
Horrible bloke.
Who got up early the morning of and tied your FG knots and put your leader on and didn't get a thank you? And then I make one little stuff up.
No, it was sabotage.
Those jigs look the same at both ends.
I feel like it was
Heat
sabotage.
of the moment, I just went for it.
Yeah, you went for it and you looked after yourself and I'm filthy on you. What's your lemon, mate?
Diz, we almost went over to York Peninsula and got into some fishing on James Mannor's boat as a bit of a test run before the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp, and it just didn't quite line up the timing. We had parenting responsibilities and the like. So it didn't quite line up this time, Diz, and we missed out. He nailed heaps of Nanagai, and we will touch on that in the fishing report as well.
We will, Rhodey. But, we were very close to that day. We're looking forward to the next one. Rhodey, there's a bit of an update for everybody out there on some merch. So we're going to be running the monthly photo comp as we usually do. And so, of course, send your photos in. Bit more to come on that shortly. But the T-shirts have arrived.
Yes, Diz, they'll be ready to go for the 100th episode. So if you have put in an order, we'll have them for you there on the day if you can make it. There are a few extras floating around from this first order, and once we sell those, we'll put in another order and get some more. So hit us up on the socials if you would like a T-shirt, Diz. They're a great quality product, plenty of sizes, and Dizzy, you're guaranteeing people will catch more fish wearing these T-shirts?
Well, they certainly look like you will if you wear them. It's a lovely grey number with a nice logo of ours on the front and back. So very good. We'll look forward to repping them in the comps to come over the summer, Rhodey.
We certainly will, Diz. Now let's move on to the 100th episode.
Yes, so 100th episode coming up on Sunday, the 21st of January, 3 p.m. in the afternoon at the Colonel Light Gardens RSL. There will be cold Frosties on tap in the RSL for you to purchase, and we will be putting on a lovely sausage sizzle with a couple of salads to go with it if you're that way inclined, and a great afternoon to share a few yarns, have a couple of beers. There'll be some stuff there for all family. We're going to take our little rugrats along, aren't we?
Yeah, the raccoons are coming.
Yeah, they'll be running around causing a stir, no doubt. So bring your family along. It'll be a great event. Really just an excuse to catch up and tip a few back, I think, Rhodey, isn't it?
Yeah, Diz, we can't wait. So make sure you RSVP, jump on our Facebook or Instagram and follow the link to RSVP just so we know for catering.
Love it, Rhodey. Sounds good. Righto, Rhodey, let's get into the news.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and will give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Rhodey, I have seen this report come out of Japan. It was a tuna sale, which was enormous.
Diz, this is something that I reckon every year it comes around and I have a look at it and it fascinates me.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing concept. This first tuna that gets auctioned on the first day of the tuna season, Diz. This, I know we're pretty highbrow at the podcast, but this is coming from the Financial Review, Diz.
Wow.
So this is where I'm getting my information from. This year, on the first day of business in 2024, the tuna this year fetched $1.2 million.
That is unbelievable.
So it's a New Year's tradition. The tuna, this particular tuna weighed 238 kilos. It was sold to a seafood wholesaler, Yamayuki, and sushi chain operator Onodera Group.
Yeah, right. Wow.
And that team, that combination, has been the winning bidder for 4 straight years, Diz.
Wow, they haven't missed.
They have not missed. And it's the fourth highest sale since the record started in 1999.
Yeah, wow, that's unbelievable. So 1.2 mil for 238 kilos of big fish.
It's going to be served at a Michelin star restaurant, Onodera, in the upscale Ginza district.
Wow, there you go. Pretty epic, Rhodey. Not sure there's too much else to that story, is there?
Nah, that's
huge
all I got.
prices.
Yeah,
very good.
It's just a cool thing, isn't it?
It is. It's epic. Rhodey, cannot believe that Wreckfish decided to feature your ugly mug in their recent posts about this next story. I probably should let you have this one.
Yeah, well, I was a little bit flat that I posted about a good looking model in their photo, and I copped a little bit of flack, some of it from yourself.
Yeah, you were looking horrible.
But anyway, Diz, it is a good news story nonetheless. So the Wreckfish submission for cod stocking in Valley Lakes at Mt Gambier has been ticked off, approved by the council. The Mt Gambier Council is in the process of developing a stocking plan. This has been approved. It is a goer. So the first stages of the process to put native fish in that reservoir are a goer, Diz, and that's a big win for any local fishers down in Mt Gambier.
Yeah, great news, Rhodey. It is a feel-good news story, that one, because we know how successful some of those programs have been for rec anglers and the likes in metropolitan Adelaide. So, good news story.
It is, Diz. All right, this one is next news story is also down in the southeast.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a big kill.
There has, Diz. Yeah, it's a bit of it's a new sort of thing, this one, Diz. It's 8 Mile Creek, which is down in the southeast of the state. And there is a picture here of, I think that one's a wobbegong shark that we can see there, is it? Couple of wobbegongs by the looks. So there's been a large number of sea animals, including more than 60 wobbegong sharks, it says here, as well as rays, crabs, snapper, sea urchin and crayfish have all been discovered dead along several kilometres of the beach at 8 Mile Creek.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
And it talks about here, it mentions low saline levels. I did a bit of reading. There's talk that this creek might be putting in some sort of water into the ocean. Whether that is particularly clean water or not is up for debate. There was some talk whether or not that water is polluted, whether it's carrying something that it shouldn't be. And this is sort of just down past Port Macdonald, is?
Yeah, okay, right.
So it is interesting. It is one of those where there are theories floating around. We don't have a definite solution. And I think there's a little bit of finger pointing going on, Diz.
Yeah, right. Okay, so there's a bit of argy-bargy, you reckon?
Yeah, so I think maybe fingers are being pointed. There is some talk that low salinity was involved, and whether that was recent high rainfall is what has been said, but I know a lot of people were throwing accusations around this.
Yeah,
whether
right.
there's disease or pollutants that have been coming out of that water.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on that one, Diz.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Bit more to come, you'd say.
It is, Diz. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, Rhodey. Well, we've got a fairly lengthy conversation to have with the guys from the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp, which we're very much looking forward to. So that wraps up the news for today. But before we do get them on the line, let's get through our tackle item.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
Rhodey, we're going to talk a little bit about jigs, this tackle item.
Diz, we are, and you've been shopping, I believe.
Yes, I certainly have been. So there is an enormous range of jigs on the market, Rhodey. There's no question about that. One that we do like to use in the waters in which we fish when we are jigging for kingies and sambos and that sort of thing is, I suppose it's most commonly known as a knife jig.
Yep.
They're basically a long, slender, sort of pencil-shaped jig that we like to use, which they vary.
Would you say they're knife-shaped or?
No, well, I wouldn't really say that.
It's called a knife jig and you've described it as a pencil, would we not?
No, it doesn't look like a knife. It doesn't. So it's called a knife jig, but it's far more pencil-shaped. There's an assist hook which sits on the top, Rhodey. That
you can fish it on the bottom if you want to rig up your mates backwards.
You don't. You fish it on the top. And that jig there, because a lot of these, Kingfish, they're induction feeders, so they will sort of inhale that bait, and the assist hook, which sort of is sort of floating around there as the jig is being violently moved through the water column, will hook in the corner of the jaw. And that'll be basically, from there, it's sort of for the angler, it's kind of just hold on.
What sort of feeders are the Kingfish again, Diz?
Induction feeder.
Isn't that what your cooktop is?
You can Google it if you want. I think I might be on the money.
I don't know. You're pulling out some big phrases here.
Well, it is all the gear but no idea, and I'm sort of happy to be proven wrong here, but I think I might be on the money. But nonetheless, the jigging action, Rhodey, is something that does take a little bit of getting used to, and I'm certainly not going to stand here and profess to be an expert at it.
Yeah, you certainly are. You don't feel that coordinated the first time you try and bounce a jig up and down.
Yeah, and it is a case of, some of the really great jigging reels. So we're talking the Oshia jigger.
Yep.
We're talking, some of the other great jigging reels that Shimano have to offer, but they also do have great spin reels like the Saragosa do a great job if you're sort of just into that spin reel type of operation, and then you want to get yourself a decent rod that can handle some heat, because if you do get onto a good size kingy, you're going to want to be able to put some hurt on it.
Diz and we were using the Saragosa 10,000.
Yes.
And we were using a smaller 8,000 as well, weren't we?
Yes, we were. So it was a great day out there on the water. Weather played the game. Jigs were getting down there. We were getting into some fish, and it was all good fun.
Yeah, and those kingfish go hard, don't they?
They do, mate. They go hard.
The bigger one we got on the Stratic, I think, didn't we? The 8,000?
Yeah.
And it handled it really well, but that fish was tearing off a bit of line there for a minute, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was. It certainly was. And
what colours are you go to in these knife jigs that you're an expert on?
I'm certainly not an expert on. Mate, they come in all colours. And they come in all shapes too, because they make them all different sizes. You can get 120s, you can get 180s, you can get 150s, you can get 200s, you can get 250s, you can get 300s.
And we started on 250s on the weekend and ended up using 180s and 200s.
Yeah.
And we were frantically looking at every other boat that went past to see what sort of gear they were using, because that's what sort of operators we are. We love to know what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. You want to check out other people's gear. That's just part of
fishing.
fishing.
Lots of silvers, whites, flashing. A couple of ours glowed in the dark.
Yeah, some of them are sort of got like a just a ring, like a striped pattern to them. Yep. They'll have a white background with then maybe like a pink, and some of those are actually even glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So they'll charge as you're sort of driving along, and then when you're dropping them down into the depths, they'll have a bit of a glow to them, which is also obviously just going to be useful for attracting the fish's attention. So basically, you want to be careful not to go down that rabbit hole, mate. You can wind up spending thousands.
Yeah,
and you can end up having an enormous collection of gear.
And I'm looking across the table here at our Shimano jig wrapped ears.
Yeah.
And it gets heavy.
Oh, yeah, it does.
If you put, 6 or 8 250s, 6 or 8 200 grams, 150, 100, you have all your different sizes.
Yeah.
It's like a bloody suitcase, that thing.
Yeah, next minute you're into them in a big way. That's right.
You are. All right, Diz, that's a good tackle item from you.
Good stuff, mate. Love it. Let's wrap that up, and let's talk to some people who hopefully have got a bit more sense than us, and the guys behind the comp. Get them on the line.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
Righto, Rhodey, we are very lucky to be joined. Another guest coming back onto the show, and unbelievably, it's been a year. We have the brains behind the Port Lincoln Tuna Classic. Steve and Ash, welcome to the show again. Great to have you both.
Yeah, how you going, guys? Thanks for having us again.
Yes, it's amazing that 12 months has gone by, and we thought that we did talk about this last week, Diz. We are locked and loaded for the 2024 Port Lincoln Tuna Classic on the March long weekend, and we thought, what better way to get ourselves excited for it than get the two gurus behind the event on to spin a yarn. So, boys, we're going to get straight into it. Actually, let's say what's been happening since we spoke to you last. How's the fishing going in the last 12 months?
Just got to crack a quick Jumpship Brewing beer, boys.
Not sponsored or anything?
Mandatory.
All right, how's the fishing been since we last spoke?
The fishing here has been incredible. No one knew it, but there's been a run of barrels the last 4 months, of last year, June, July, August, September, kept going.
Did either of you get one?
We weighed quite a few in using Ash's forklift, which was fun.
Yeah, I weighed all of my money.
So would I say that's a no? You didn't get one?
We don't want to talk about it.
Next question.
All right, what else?
It was pretty cool. Really cool.
But the tuna have started again, which is terrific. And this time of the year, typically we see a run of like 8 to 10 kilo fish.
Yeah.
And this year, the first run is like 15 to 20 kilo fish, which wow.
It's looking, it looks looking pretty good. We've battled the weather the last month, so no one's done too much fishing. But the last week, the sun's come out and the fish have popped up, and people are starting to get amongst it, which is cool. Not us yet.
Yeah. And that's probably been the story right across the state the last couple of years. The fish have been down in size, so good to see them bouncing back. And what other fishing's been going on over there, boys? Any kingfish or whiting or what else you been targeting?
The kingfish are almost in pest status around the town jetty and the wharf and the marina.
There's some little school. They're pretty small, but huge numbers. There's heaps of them, which is pretty cool. Even the land-based fishers are getting on them.
Yeah, that's epic. I'm sure the people down the jetty have been having a good time, pulling some string, no doubt.
Samsons are in full swing out in the deep water. If you guys are keen to get stretched when you get over here,
yep, book it in.
Oh yeah, well, we're certainly not going to say no to that. We just need Manna to show us the way.
Yeah, you'll be fine. He's got a couple of marks. He did well last year on his pre-fish.
Beautiful. All right, now let's enough of the chit chat. Let's get into it, boys. What's happening? So we're locked in for the tuna comp. What can we expect?
Yeah, 2024 is potentially going to be the biggest comp that's ever been seen.
Ooh, here we go. Is that just because we're coming, or?
Yes, potentially.
We've just had a real big, I don't know, just a big influx of people that want to sort of get on board. Everyone just wants to get in on it. I don't know whether it was seeing the higher Calcutta prize.
Yeah, that helps.
But yeah, a lot of boats that couldn't enter last year. There was a couple of guys that didn't make it because they had a few crew that got sick and a last minute comp because a lot of people didn't know it was happening last year. So we lost a heap because people were other commitments. So all of those guys are back in and a heap of new ones. And some of the people calling up, even just inquiring, are quite literally from all over Australia.
Wow. Yeah, nice. So interstate, they're locked in, are they, a few of them?
Yeah, there's a few of those. And that really blew us away to get people, we almost thought they didn't know where we were when they called us.
But they knew everything about it. They'd done the research. They looked at the photos. They talked to people.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool, to see, obviously they're seeing it on media and talking through their, through the fishing buddies and connections or whatever and hearing about the comp and, just this massive influx of new people. Probably a lot in the big trailer boat market. That's really, not so much the game boat guys, there's always your larger 40, 50 footers. That's probably still the same, 15, 20 boats that have been around most of the time, a few new ones. But the trailer boat market, that big high-end trailer boat, 7, 8 metre stuff, there's just, I don't know, a heap of those guys have popped up. The York Peninsula, Adelaide, from sort of your area, there's heaps coming over for it from there. A few from the West Coast, which we never really had before. So, it's been pretty incredible, almost a little bit overwhelming because we got to work out manage it.
Yeah, a good problem to have. Now, it's no surprise, guys, we were unfortunately not there, but the 2023 Classic was an epic event. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 22 boats. The Calcutta went for just shy of 69 grand. There was 573 southern bluefin tuna caught over 10 kilos and released. And a great day had by a lot of people. So with those sort of numbers and that 2023, it's going to be hard to beat 2024, but we're looking forward to topping it.
Yeah. Well, you'd say the boat numbers, we're expecting 35 to 40 boats.
Wow.
Pretty quickly. So if you double the pool, I'm not saying we're going to double the Calcutta, but there's a really good chance of a 100 grand prize pool.
Yeah, we, not that we ever, last year all we wanted to do was get it over the line, but this year we kind of think we can break a few records.
Yeah, well, Dizzy's been talking up our chances, so we might start planning how we're going to spend some of that money.
Yep, you go for it.
The tip is tell your wife first how much you're going to win. she'll spend it for you, and you'll have permission to fish it every year.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Now, for those people out there who can't recall, one of you blokes talk us through the Calcutta auction, because that is an exciting part of the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's probably one of the most talked about parts of the comp. I believe it has been a few times one of the largest cash prize giveaways in any fishing competition in Australia. So, yeah, there's a fair bit of anticipation about it on the Friday night. It's always, gets everybody on the edge of their seat. I think there's a little bit of gets a fair bit of banter, and a few of the guys do like bidding on their mates' boats. But we're pretty lucky. We've got a really good auctioneer. He's pretty known in the community. He knows a lot of the people in the competition. It's pretty cheeky. And he sort of he helps us lift the prize pool up a little bit.
That's good.
So we try and keep it later in the night. Everyone has a few beers and gets pretty comfortable. And it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's there's a few wealthy guys in there that do like to throw around a lot of bids. So it can be quite a laugh. But, yeah.
This is making me nervous, if anything.
It's a support for the competition, though. There's a chunk that's going back to charity, so there's good merit in it. But you've also got to back yourself, and you go, you know what? I'm a chance of winning it.
Yeah,
I want to own my own boat, and you don't have to buy your boat. Like if someone wants to buy your boat for $5,000 and you don't have the $5,000 amongst your team to buy it, then don't buy it, and someone else can. It's all good.
Yeah. It'd be
back yourself.
Really hard. It'd be hard to bring in that biggest fish and have someone else take the money.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people, pretty much, probably 90% of people own their own boat. They're prepared for it. They know that they're going into it. They're going to have a crack. Like the girls last year from Sojourner. They'd never fished before, owned the boat for 6-7 months. Wanted to have a crack, and they didn't even really know how the Calcutta worked properly. And they even sort of, they had a couple of bids and sort of realised, this is getting a little bit expensive. But someone sort of whispered in their ear and said, you got to sort of get in there and have a crack. And they did, and walked away with best part of $50,000 in cash.
Very good. Well, hopefully, dears, that's us. We won't count our chickens before they've hatched, but we're going to give it a good crack, aren't we? Now, we should, as we mentioned that, tell us about the boat we've signed up for. James Manor, we have been and met him. He sounds like a great skipper. His boat looks really nice. Tell us about his setup. What can we expect?
No, James is a pretty good operator. He's pretty fussy. He's quite tech savvy too. Really sort of gets into his electronics and studies his gear. And his boat is pretty well set up. Like he really has spent a bit of time fine tuning, and he's passionate about his fishing. He's got nice gear. He's 2400 Staby. He's had for a few years now, so he's done a fair bit of fine tuning. Got some really really nice electronics package, which, like I said, he's really across the board in staring at his screen. So no, he's good. He's got some nice outrigger setups, teaser reels. Yeah, he's probably the way I fish, he's probably a bit over the top. But he's got some good fish under his belt. Yeah. And there's no doubt, anybody that's caught a decent fish, organisation is what catches it.
Now the other thing we've heard about James Manor's boat is the catering's top notch. What can we expect?
Hey, this is next level, right? So I fished a few times, and that pie oven is on 24/7, and there's a dedicated freezer up in the cab that runs 24/7 with frozen different delicacies ready to throw in there.
Yeah, he's got.
Ding!
Like I said, he's pretty well organised, and he loves his gadgets. But yeah, quite literally, he doesn't turn the fridge or the freezer off. Even at home, he just plugs it into his. He literally runs around the clock. He doesn't unpack it. The thing is full all the time.
Yeah. That is epic.
Yeah,
it's a great boat to fish out of. Poor James, he put us on the spot one day, and I remember dropping a jig, right on the mark. Jig, boom, and I did a PB Kingfish, and I remember holding it in front of him, and he's just like, "You don't do that on someone else's boat, Steve. You let the skipper have the first drop, mate."
Well, we'll have to remember that one, Diz.
We will, definitely. Boys, tell us about your setups. You two have got some lovely boats.
Yeah. Well, I've had a bit of a change. I'm stepping out of the beach this year.
Oh.
few sponsors and a few extra guys coming. And Steve-O took all the sponsors last year, so I was very kindly donated a 445 Riviera to use. So, and I took it.
Did they have to twist your arm for that one, or
not hard? No, wasn't not much of a twist. So yeah, it gives us a little bit more space and a fair bit extra comfort, which was pretty generous of the owner. So yeah, I've upgraded. Not that I really needed to upgrade. I was very fortunate where I was, but yeah, we've that's sort of where a little bit more space and comfort for the few more sponsors. So we'll give that a go.
And you've got lots of sponsors signed up then?
Yeah, we really have. We've had, after quite literally almost immediately after 23 comp, we had existing sponsors and a couple of new ones quite literally ringing us and approaching us to sponsor 24 comp. Well, we didn't even ask for it. They were literally asking us, which, pretty amazing. And the best part is they're nearly all local, like quite literally local businesses, and like they really were, they couldn't get on board quick enough, which is pretty, pretty impressive.
Probably a good opportunity to thank a few actually, Ash, isn't it? So we got Garmin's our platinum, our major sponsor, and then Club Marine, both integral to the fishing community. The Port Lincoln Community Bank, Bendigo Community Bank's up there. Got Tackle World Port Lincoln, North Bank Fiberglass Boats. Harry is on board, and for the tackle talk the Thursday night, there's going to be a beautiful North Bank inside for that Jumpship Brewing session too. Southern Ocean Dive and Marine, they do some fantastic maintenance and work on boats here. Jumpship Brewing, of which we are indulging at the moment. Ocean Link Outboard Service. Ash, what do they do?
That is actually my business. We're just local boat dealer, Honda Suzuki boat shop. So yeah, that's us.
And then Drasol, Environmental Solutions, Custom Kitchen Company, a local cabinetry provider. Lance French Cafe and Patisserie, a great place to stop in at if you're ever in the Lincoln region. They're going to be helping us out with some breakfast delicacies. Adelaide Vehicle Centre, AVC, incredible partner for us over the years. Shimano, which everyone knows, you can't really go fishing without Shimano. And then Air Fuels help us out with our logistics, refueling the big boats, helping us out with our little boats. The Prawn Store is going to be doing some work with the Marina Hotel and the Tacoma, our mothership. So we've got, that's 15, 16 names of.
It's a real who's who. You've got every industry in Port Lincoln covered, I reckon, there.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think we had to ask any of them. The couple of the big ones, obviously our Garmin, Club Marine, and stuff like that. They sort of gave us a multi-year contract, so they're in for quite a few years, which makes it pretty easy. And a lot of the local guys probably nearly all of them have somewhere in the company or the owners actually fish the competition. So just, straight away, just wanted to support it. So
that's epic. Credit to you both on how you pulled it all together last year, and we're certainly looking forward to being a part of it. While you go through those sponsors, we've had Harry on the show a couple of times. I'm interested, is he sort of sitting with you on the Riv, or is he going to jump out on one of his lovely North Bank boats?
We are North Bank proud.
Yeah, we are hoping. We would like him to bring a boat.
He's
really hoping he could bring a boat over.
That's the plan.
There you go. That's something for us to work on, Rody.
We'll get in his ear for you.
We can get in his ear.
Yeah, because it'll. It's probably a really good opportunity for him to represent his own product, which and that's the big thing for a sponsor is to what they get back.
Yeah.
They can sit there and give us money, which is great for us, but they need a little bit of that's probably been a little bit of a learning curve for us of how we give back to the sponsors. So if he can bring a boat over and get a few more North Banks in there, would be that's definitely going to be good for him. But yeah, if he doesn't, we'll make sure we got a place for him.
Beautiful. Now, guys, you've always had the Calcutta night on the Friday, the presentation night on the Sunday. This year, you've added the Thursday night at the brewery. Can you tell us about that?
So this is all about fun, banter, and education. It's
it's informal. It's a non-compulsory event. There's people travelling, so you don't have to go to it. But we just wanted to give, obviously, the brewery itself, one of our sponsors. So we thought it'd be pretty cool. Get everyone down there. They can see it. The brewery is actually quite new. They're really good people. They're sort of friends of ours as well, and offered their support, pretty much straight away. So it's going to be good for them. We can have a look at the brewery, and for people that are new to the competition, just break the ice. Meet some of the guys that have been in it for a long time, and sort of ask a few questions. Where the fish are, or not that anyone's going to tell them.
So that's a dangerous question. I think some people will send you in the other way.
Yeah, that's right. I'd do that to you guys.
Well, we might have to bring the microphone across, Diz, and do a bit of a preview show.
Yeah, you should, boys.
Well, certainly the Thursday night there'll be time for it. It's you can certainly do that if you want. Yeah. We'll probably, like I said, we'll have a couple of boats there. Maybe set up a bit of gear. We might throw a few of the secrets out from some of the winning guys the last few years.
Yeah, and Tackle World Port Lincoln, Alicia and Shane are going to be with us on that night. They're bringing gear down. So we're going to be able to set up the boats inside the brewery. So rain, hail or shine, we'll be able to run this event and talk tackle hands-on. There'll be things for sale. And it's just going to be probably an opportunity you don't normally get to sit down with game fishermen, fishing people, and really understand how to set your spread, set your drags, tie your leaders on, how we measure them,
I think some rules. Of you guys sometimes struggle with just deciphering with IGFA rules. Even though it's not an IGFA comp, we fish the 10 kilo mono and your leader length. They're fairly specific, I suppose. So they're going to have a bit of a display, so you can see the leaders, see the hooks, and give them a few tips. Not that we're going to give away all the secrets, but we want people to catch fish. The more fish they catch, and the better they sort of handle them, it's going to keep them coming back.
Beautiful. Well, a couple of rookies ourselves, so we might bring the notepad along and take a few notes, boys.
I just had another brainwave there. I totally forgot about it. But we're also trying to bring in voluntary tagging this year. So there's a piece of work going on with Wreckfish and Asher to try to get our hands on some tags. So we'll be able to do a display on the Thursday night. This is how you tag. Here's a practice fish. This is how we do it. And then on the Friday night again, we'll be able to show people. And the 570 odd fish last year that were recorded as released were all over 10 kilos. So 780 mil fork length. This year for that side of the comp, the catch and release, every size tuna counts. So we are legitimately expecting 1,500 to 2,000 fish recorded released. Yeah. And if a portion of them can have a tag in them, the benefit for science is it's really, really incredible. It could be quite powerful for the years to come to know that the fish that you released at 10 kilos is now a barrel all those years later. So I'm excited about that part of it.
Yeah. Obviously on that, we've removed the 10 or 78 centimetre size limit for a point scoring fish. That was sort of where that is actually gone. So we a lot of boats last year, there was a huge number of fish released under 10 kilos. The fish size was down, and a few people I think a few people felt a little bit disheartened with their lower scores, like me. we caught a huge amount of fish, probably 100, 100, upwards of 100 tuna, and I think my final score was 19 fish above 10 kilos.
Yeah.
So it's not that we didn't know what we were doing. We weren't in the wrong spot. We were catching fish all the time, but we really struggled getting that 78 centimetre size. And other people did as well. So we thought we don't actually need a size limit. We get rid of it. It's going to pump the numbers up. Everyone's going to get and it'll give us a really true indication of how many fish get caught. So, and I think it'll be more exciting because if you're on fish, you're going to get your numbers quickly. So people are really going to get excited about it.
Beautiful. Sounds good to us.
Yeah, the big ones are mixed in as well. So you kind of want to get the fish in, get it measured, tag, release, and get your lures back. Oh, yeah.
And a small portion of it too, with when you're measuring all your fish, bringing in, trying to get your hooks out, then getting onto a brag mat, it's time consuming. So we thought taking that out, the fish also get released. Yeah.
So in the water, if you know you've got a little one.
Yeah, we sort of conscious of the competition's reputation, I suppose, in caring for the fish. Fishing competitions sometimes can get a little bit of a bad rap of excessive pressure. When you're putting 30 boats out to target one fish in the same area, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And fishing competitions probably, get a little bit frowned upon sometimes. So we're really trying to avoid that. And I think we have this far being we're trying to be proactive with a few of these little changes. So.
All right, now, boys, before we leave you to it, we want your number one tip for a couple of newcomers. What can we do in the next couple of months to prepare?
Get that 10 kilo mono on your reel. Get your drag set and start practicing.
Start fishing 10 kilo mono.
It's so hard to know you're breaking, how much hurt you can put on a fish.
Yeah.
If you're on spin, resetting your drag after you've fought one, the lift and wind. Ash is a big believer in the 2-speed reels.
Yeah, that a lot of people often they'll fish, they'll fish their 30, 40, 50 pound braid all year round. Week before the comp, they'll rip their braid off the same rod, put mono on there, and they have a lot of line breakage.
Yeah.
So you want, your gear makes it, certainly makes it easier, and have a bit of practice. Because it's so strange going from braid to mono.
Well, that's good for us because that'll definitely be a learning curve for us. Good thing we've got Manna to be able to show us the ropes a bit. So we're looking forward to it, guys. That has really whet the appetite, if you will, for the comp coming up on the March long weekend this year. Get your registration in. That's what I'm hearing. We've got a huge amount of boats, but you need to get them in fast because it's going to be an epic comp, one to break the record books, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. And just such great people. You want to get involved. You're a good person. You want to hang out with those good people. It's next level, the banter and the camaraderie. So, get on board. It's good for the fishing community.
Love it, boys. Thank you very much for your time again. We are very much looking forward to seeing you in a couple of months' time over there in the lovely part of the world in Port Lincoln.
Start saving those pennies up for the Calcuttas, boys.
All right, Dizzy, that was great to hear some common sense from a couple of experts in the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp.
Yes, it was good to hear from them, Rhodey.
Now, we've just done a quick little bit of Googling after that interview, Diz. I just wanted to clarify the induction feeders.
You think I was more thinking cooktops?
I think you were thinking cooktops, and I think you meant implosion feeders, which are fish such as barramundi, Murray cod, and flathead. And reading here, these fish feed by approaching bait closely before popping their jaws open with extreme speed and force, creating a vacuum which sucks in the surrounding water and the prey they have targeted.
Okay, well, there you go.
So A, it wasn't induction, it was implosion, and B, Kingfish, I don't think fits in that category.
Oh.
Were you just throwing out big words and hopefully one had hit?
I was hoping that something might have stuck.
That one hasn't. Anyway, good on you, Diz.
Oh, well, you live and you learn.
Lucky Ash and Steve spoke a lot more sense than you did, mate.
Yeah, well, that could be said the same for you, mate.
All right, Diz, that was really good to learn a bit, and that's only whet our appetite for the March long weekend, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Can't wait.
All right, let's get on to the fishing report, Diz.
Yep.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Rhodey, we've got a bit to get through on this fishing report, mate. There have been some scattered reports of tuna around our parts.
Yeah, so Warina, you said before Tice he got 6 one day, he got 2 the other, so getting a few?
Yeah, he seems to be doing well, which is not surprising. He's the guru.
Few at Victor Harbour, Diz. I've been seeing more and more posts popping up saying I've got 6 tuna heads to give away.
Yes.
That's always a sure sign.
Yeah, you think so. And definitely some of those reports seem to be coming from the West Coast too. So hopefully they're starting to arrive in better numbers. Hopefully the bait is arriving where we want it. The water temps seem to be heating up a little bit. We're hoping for some nice days to come with regards to weather. So, I'm sure we'll be reporting on this a bit more to come.
And it does sound like the Eyre Peninsula seems to have the most consistent catches, and maybe the Flurio's a bit more hit and miss with lots going out and not getting them too.
Seems to be. That would be a fair comment, I'd say.
And did you see the picture of all the phytoplankton, I think they are? Did you see that picture down in the southeast?
Yeah, the phytoplankton bloom, I believe. Tyson was also made a comment on that on his post to say that might have slowed the fish down.
Well, so why is that? The fish go down there, do they? Is that the theory?
Don't know.
Might need someone smarter than us to figure that one out.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to be careful that I don't say the wrong thing.
No, I was a bit nervous saying phytoplankton. I hope I got that one right.
I'm going to be careful with my words.
All right, Diz, tell us about the kingfish. We did see plenty of others caught down at Cape Jarvis as well.
Yeah, we did. So good spot to target them. That's right. Obviously, the word's out there. People are onto them. Tackle World have been doing a few posts of some of their members and team members getting onto them, which has been good. But, they're out there and good fun getting them on the jigs ready.
And, Diz, we did catch some snapper as bycatch. We saw a few others catch them as well. They were in good numbers and hitting jigs too.
They were, Rody, and some good size ones come over too.
Yeah, and we got the Savage Tackle release weight busy, didn't we? Put one down to the depths.
We did. We were making sure that we did the right thing. We were fishing in quite deep water, so it was important to us that we got those fish back down to the depths as safely as possible to preserve the fishery. But certainly if you were looking at numbers out there with how many people caught them, you wouldn't say that they're scarce.
And that actually could have been my lemon too. Anytime you mention I accidentally caught a snapper, you get hounded on social media, don't you?
Yeah.
We weren't targeting them.
Well,
we were
Tice,
using jigs for kingfish. Tice post that thing about the charters.
Yeah, Tice obviously legally fishes for them and catches some for his clients and guests on board. And every single time without fail, I thought you couldn't fish for them. And there's a lot of people who are happy to be keyboard warriors and they have no idea of the rules. So we'd certainly invite you to get on top of them and be aware of what you can and can't do.
All right, Diz, what about the yellowfin whiting? We've been tagged in a few photos. I saw Jordan Saliba got into them. Shane Mensforth got into the yellowfin whiting. The weather's finally warming up, and maybe that's brought them on the chew. Yeah,
they also seem to like the warm weather, Rhodey, and some of those nice days along the flats, as it were, to be throwing little hard bodies at them, or maybe even some clickers out there on bait or whatever you might choose to do to target them, but seems to be some better catches coming through, which is good to see.
Always good to see, Diz, and that's something we should do more of, I reckon.
Yeah, good call. We should. James Manor, of course, the lovely bloke who's taking us out on the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp. We can't wait to get out there fishing with him. He launched from Marion Bay and had a lovely day on the water on Tuesday. The weather was absolutely glorious by the looks of things and treated himself to a bag of nannies.
He did some good size ones in the mix too.
Yeah, there looked like some really good nannies in there and getting the bag. No, not a bad day out on the water whatsoever.
Diz, that's a pretty good fishing report.
I think so.
And that's a pretty good episode, I would have thought. A lot to learn there.
Yeah. Wrapped it all up. Nice.
Where can the listeners find us, Diz?
Well, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. So we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. You can find us on Google. Jump on the socials too. We always post our link there with a bit of a wrap-up of what the episodes got. Rhodey does his good work in editing the episodes every fortnight. And you'll find the RSVP link there to the 100th episode, Rhodey.
You will, Diz. We'd love you all to come along and enjoy a frothy with us.
Of course. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you at the 100th.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.